Let's talk about these 5 weirdly unique ways to make money in real estate that actually work. But you've been thinking you need to rehab or fix and flip properties or even spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a rental property to make money in real estate? Think again. Because these creative strategies are proof that you can think outside the box to start making real income in real estate, even if you don't own a property yet or you're an experienced investor looking to diversify. And if you are looking to buy your first or next rental property in the next 90 days, you can check out my Rentals Made Simple 90-day game plan in the description below. So your first weird strategy is going to be something called bird dogging for fast cash. So bird dogging is somewhat similar to wholesaling, if you know what that is, where you are going out and you are finding basically leads of distressed properties that someone might be able to buy at a discount. So you're going to go out and find these properties, find these addresses, and you're going to pass that information on to other wholesalers who are basically middlemen finding deals and assigning those deals and contracts to fix and flippers, rehabbers, or even buy and hold landlords that are looking for properties to purchase. Or you can skip the wholesaler and just send those leads off to actual investors who are buying. And oftentimes when you bird dog and find a property for a wholesaler or an investor, they are going to pay you a finder's fee, usually when that property closes. So they do all the work in terms of negotiating the deal, negotiating the terms, but as a thank you to even finding this property, they might give you like a $500 finder's fee. So this is a quick and easy way to find deals to make money and make some fast cash. And I know bird doggers who have done this for years, and one of them, she generally finds properties by walking her dog. She goes around her neighborhood, and she also likes to switch it up and go to other neighborhoods, not only to kind of find properties outside of her own community, and she just writes down houses that look like they may be open to selling. Maybe they're in disrepair, the grass is tall, it just looks a little bit of a mess, or maybe you can even do, and then she takes those leads, jots down the addresses. She might every now and then even do a little bit more research and find out who the owner is, find out their contact information, and then pass that info on to an investor. And again, if that investor closes on the property, they will pay you a finder's fee. And she has made great side money doing this, side hustle money. It's not necessarily her main thing, but she finds these properties while walking her dog, something she would have to do anyway. The second weird strategy is going to actually be renting by the room, which a lot of people are familiar with, but this time you are going to do that with Section 8 voucher holders. Yes, you can rent by the room with Section 8 using HUD, VASH, and co-living programs. Now, HUD, VASH is when you are going to be renting out to military veterans that are low income or maybe have been homeless and now they are voucher holders, and you can rent by the room with co-living programs as well. So let's say you have a 3-bedroom home that may rent from, let's say, $1,800 in your area. When you use this program, you can make maybe around $3,600 instead renting the rooms individually, because of course you can charge say $500, $400, maybe even $1,000 per room or $1,200 per room and make a lot more money that way. And programs like this serve veterans, seniors, and even transitional housing clients, all with guaranteed rent directly from the government. And if Section 8 is something you're interested in, I do have a free Section 8 investing guide, which is in the description box below as well. Your third weird strategy is going to be to lease option properties out of state. So for many of us, we live in cities and states that are rather expensive when it comes to trying to buy a home. So you can look into properties in less expensive states in the Midwest like Ohio, Missouri, and create a lease option which allows you to control the property. So a lease option is basically when you reach out to a homeowner or a landlord and you say, hey, I want to rent to own this house. So basically you have almost all the rights of a homeowner and you have the option to purchase that property at a set agreed amount price in a certain amount of time. So maybe you lease option the home for 2 years to buy it at $300,000 in that 2 years. And so you have full control of the property And you can, again, lease this out to traditional tenants, but you can even possibly lease it out to these affordable housing programs where you are, again, getting guaranteed rent every single month. So you control this property, but you didn't have to go out and work with the bank and have perfect credit and have all the cash that is normally required when you are buying a home. So this is a great way to get your foot in the door with real estate and start making some real cash flow every single month. Your fourth weird strategy is going to be to furnish a property and rent it out to travel nurses or even as a group home. So of course, Airbnb has been the wave for years. I used to actually host over 20 Airbnbs and short-term rentals, and that was a lot of work and moving pieces, but of course, it made a lot of money. Now, another strategy I did within that is midterm rentals, which is when I was leasing to travel nurses for 3 to 6 months at a time. And because they are getting way more money than they normally would at a traditional nursing job, they're able to usually pay more than you would make with a normal tenant. Sometimes up to 2 to 3 times that usual rate. And you can find travel nurses to rent to on properties like Furnish Finder so that you can get easily up and running fast. Or you can go even bigger and set up a single family home as a group home for seniors or those with disabilities. Or you can go even bigger and set up a single family home as a group home that's licensed for seniors or those with disabilities. And this strategy can earn you anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 plus a month, depending on the size of the property, from government funding and long-term contracts. And the fifth weird strategy is to turn your home into an asset. So you can easily rent out a room on sites like Furnish Finder and of course Airbnb, as we all know. You can rent out a basement. You can even do this with Section 8 voucher holders if you're comfortable, travel nurses if you're comfortable, Airbnb if you're comfortable. But another tip is that you can, depending on how large your land, the land that your property sits on, is you can also add an alternative dwelling unit or an ADU separate, completely separate from your home, and rent that space out and make income that way as well. I have one client that makes $1,200 plus a month from her basement alone using this strategy. And when it comes to the ADUs, the crazy thing is Amazon is like selling houses now. So there are a lot of ways that you can get into this without having to spend a crazy amount of money. And of course, as a bonus, I'm always gonna add just your regular Section 8 investing and Section 8 rentals, because with that, you get guaranteed rent every single month. They're usually gonna be paying you higher than average rent as a way to be competitive and draw in more Section 8 landlords. The average Section 8 tenant stays anywhere from 5 to 7 years, so you have less turnover and vacancy and way more peace of mind. And if you screen right, you can have amazing tenants as well. And if that's of interest to you, again, check out my free Section 8 investing guide in the description below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and check out this next one here, because when you pair it with what you just learned in this video, you are going to be even further along when it comes to your real estate investing journey. Deuces.